Hey you guys, Dani here. It is Walkthrough Wednesday. I am really excited to be doing the Art of Life review today. Be sure to stay tuned after the walkthrough for our midweek reading. And if you're looking for me, all my links are below. Instagram, Patreon, Etsy. You can book a reading. It's all there. So we'll see you after the walkthrough. All right, you guys, this is the Art of Life Tarot. This is by Charlene Livingstone. This is a really unique box. As you can see, it pops up. It has a place for the top of the box to stand on the lid, and you can put your card of the day in there as like a thing on your altar or on your desk. So I thought it was a really interesting box. And I do keep it in there, so it's really nice. So these are actually really big cards. This is by US Games, by the way. You can see they're taller and wider. Plain little white book, very simple, just a few keywords for everything. They have a spread or two, some sample readings, nothing major. And I do like the backs of these cards. They are not reversible though, however. So onto the fronts. We have a little bit of a different setup. We have the names at the top and then a quote at the bottom. This is the same for every single card. The actual paintings are indeed cited underneath, so you can look and you can see who said the quotes. What I like about this deck is that they didn't try to manipulate the art to fit the card. They just put it there, as in like, this is my interpretation. So like, I see the world, I think of this picture, I think of this quote, and I really appreciated that. Do I think this is a practical deck to use for big spreads? No. However, I do love to use this deck for daily pulls, for one card pulls. Do I use them with clients? No, these are more of like a personal deck or maybe something I'd put on my Instagram because they are beautiful to photograph. But I do find that I am more compelled by the quotes and the art than I am about what card it is. And I know that seems odd for a tarot deck, but I really like this kind of as an oracle. Although I do think that there was a lot of work that went into corresponding them with the correct card. So I can appreciate all the work that went into finding each and every one to go with the traditional meaning of the tarot. So I really do like it. Some of them I feel are kind of, I don't know, just not my style, but that's what you get in like a random art deck. You know what I mean? Like, it's not just one artist, it's not just one theme, it's like just classical art in general. So I'm not mad at that. And I do love the idea of picking a card at the beginning of the day and then setting it up on your desk and kind of looking at your daily card. I really love that too, when my desk is not a mess. So you can hear that these shuffle really nice. It's a pretty thin cardstock, but not to the point where it's like a detriment, right? It's big, but not too big, but then again, I have bigger hands, so maybe that's not true for others. You can see it's kind of easy to manipulate, which I appreciate for such a big deck because it's easy to handle, you know, with it being a little more pliable, if that's the word I'm looking for. All right, so my favorites, the Emperor, King Henry, because that's who I would have chosen. So for this one, it's definitely all about the historical figure. I love this. For my court card, it is the King of Wands, which is Napoleon, and for me it's just the beauty of this painting. I love the red and I love the stance. I think it's a great match as well. And for the Ace of Cups, I chose this one because this is one of my favorite paintings of all time. That's kind of why I chose it. Like, basically it's just one of my favorite paintings, so nothing too deep there. And that's it for the Art of Life Tarot. All right, you guys, so let's go ahead and pull a card. We'll do a single card draw for the rest of the week. What energy should we pull from for the rest of the week? How about that? What energy? Ready. I said one, but two wanted to come out, so we're gonna do that. Okay. So we got the Five of Swords and the King of Swords. So let's start with the Five of Swords first. This one, I'll read the bottom, says, sometimes I go about pitying myself, and all the time I am being carried on the great winds across the sky. And then the King of Swords says, the great virtue is the real courage, to face facts and to live beyond them. Oh my gosh, I love these two together, especially that. Because it talks about, like, sometimes I go about pitying myself, and then it says, you know, we need to face facts and we need to live through that. Yes. I couldn't have picked a better pair to go together and to, like, have such an impactful statement. And that's just, like, it's really easy to get in your feelings and stay there and not see the forest for the trees, right? It is really easy to sit there and pout and say nothing is ever going your way, when instead you could be like, this is a thing that happened, so let's go from there. That is definitely impactful, at least to me. I'm sure there's somebody else who feels me there, because especially when you go through, like for me, I go through bouts of depression. And of course they've been worse this beginning of the year because of the loss that I suffered. So like I'm having this like revolving grief that just keeps coming back. And it's one of those things where like I try to catch it and deal with it before it gets too late. But it's really easy to sit in that pity party and just kind of mull over. And I know that some people will come in and say, you know, you need to let yourself do this. And I totally understand that. But I also understand the type of person that I am, and that I have the ability to sit and stew and then like shut everything down. I just want my pity party, and that's what I'm gonna do. I don't involve anyone else in it, but I just want to be in it by myself. You know what I mean? I'm not gathering, I'm just sitting alone with my pity party, you know? So I really love that. Is, you know, let's face the facts that are here. Let's understand what's going on and then live with that, right? Understand it. So let's focus on living this rest of this week. Let's not sit and stew in our own misfortune or annoyance or inconvenience. Let's move past that this week. Maybe this was just for me. Maybe you can relate. Let me know. And let me know what you think of this Art of Life Tarot, you guys. I find it very interesting indeed. So I will talk to you guys very soon. Sending you all the loves. Mwah! Later, Gators.